Hello everyone, Zelleranth here, and today there's been a few things I've seen that have come out for Girls Frontline 2 since we've got the last patch. I thought I'd take a look at two of the things right now in this video, and then I can have follow-up videos on the other stuff I've learned. There's actually been quite a bit of stuff coming out in the last day or so. So this first one is that on the CN side, there has been a new trailer dropped for Yoohee. And then this YouTube creator, Kaya or Sia, however you say their name, has re-uploaded it. They have a lot of videos from stuff on the CN side, so go ahead and make sure to subscribe to them if you want to kind of see some of the in-game footage of some teams and that within the CN side. They have quite a few good compilations showcasing how some of the teams synergize. But I think we go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Yoohee. Now, it doesn't show exactly all the details on them, but you can kind of infer from it based on what we can kind of see. So we'll go ahead and watch this here. Make sure the volume's good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks good. It's just another idol character. There's going to be another clumsy idol, too. But yet again, another assault rifle user. And you can see just their basic attack there. This is their training animation here. And then here's, it looks, is this their ultimate? It's like another dancing skill like Veplay. So some kind of buff. Now the one thing when I'm looking at these skills is I don't see anything that clearly indicates a element. So could she be a physical buffer? I'm not sure. But you see in here, this has got QJ, it's got Kwahua, or Chahua. That's Burn right there. What was the other team here that it showed her with? Oh no, it's yeah, and there's there's Tololo there. So maybe they're just throwing characters in there. But it very much looks like she is some kind of support to an extent. Maybe a physical one. Just dancing away and then kicks the grenade as he throws it. But she is a support. I mean, it shows this little music icon, but it doesn't specifically state element. I could be missing something. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing something on it. But if it's like the last unit, we should have the actual details on her kit probably within a day or so. It may already be on Reddit for all I know, and I haven't seen it. But overall, looking good there. We could always use a very good support, especially if she's very generic and works just within any team. Because those are always kind of my favorite units in these games, is getting the value out of having multiple units that can, or a unit that can be utilized within multiple different teams. So it's a lot easier for your free-to-plays to prioritize their pulls on that. But then there is the other thing I've seen. Now, this is going to be one of those things that you're going to want to take very strongly with a grain of salt. But when we got the update last night, apparently every single dowel up to Paris has been added into the data files. So everybody is in there. And so people that have done some data mining have pulled out these dates of release for the next units. Now, they have done this with the previous ones, and they were wrong with Cinerisi coming out, but they were correct with Dayan and Mosin Nagant. So they've been pretty accurate, other than the Cinerisi one that they had a miss on. And that could have very well been a change that they did last second or at some point. So they could have been correct before, and then Mika just decided to change the banner orders. But with this one, they are showing that after Dush, our next one on February 27th will be Cinerisi with the rerun of Ulrid. Now, you can't really take the knowledge of the reruns as being they were correct, because we fully expect the reruns to be in the order they were released. So we have Suomi, they're going to do Ulrid, then it's going to be Macchiato, then it's going to be a Dayoung. We know that for sure. So even if they're correct there, doesn't matter. What matters is they say Incinerisi's next, and then Klukai. Klukai coming right after. And then Mekti. What this is pretty much meaning, these are all three big pulls that I have said in my priority list of Lena, Jianzhu, Dush, Cinerisi, Klukai, and Mekti, of this kind of group in order. Those are the three highest priorities for me. And so this looks like, if this is true, this is going to be a tough time for free-to-play. And this will really... I've already seen some of my... in my Discord already talking about, well, they were originally going to pull Verdush because they could still save for Klukai, but they're actually looking at potentially skipping now just because of these potential units coming up. Because if Klukai comes out on 320, you have less time to save for those that are wanting to try and push for her V3. My advice is not to get her V3 on that first run, but instead, if you really want to get her V3, try and get V1 on her first run, and then it looks like it's going to be every 4 releases will get the rerun. So then on her second rerun in 4 patches after that one, go over her V3, because it'll be very, very predictable, because we already can see that it's going to be predictable on what units are going to come up on reruns. So if Klukai comes this early, yeah, it sucks in that you're not going to be able to push all or save all the pulls you want to try and shoot for V3 right off the bat, but you can know quite well that you should be able to go over her down the line on the rerun, and it'll be predictable at that point once we already had one release. So you can always just get her V0 right off the bat and then save up after that point. But overall, that is some good news. There's a lot of other stuff that I've kind of seen, a little bit things here and there within the game. I plan to do another video on that later today. And then I'm going to go ahead and stream my Dush polls later today once I get off work. I'm trying to get a accurate time of when I'm going to do it, and I'll actually do a post within my community posts. It's just I'm really busy at work, and I could end up having to work a little bit late, so I don't know exactly when I will get on, but expect it to be around 6 to 7 Central when I do my polls, and then I'm going to try and do some other content alongside that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm looking forward to seeing more units coming out of them, because it does look like they are enhancing the visuals to them, so we'll kind of see with that. And we already know all the some of the characters all coming up too from that other post, so we'll have to see. Still a lot of assault rifle users coming up, but hey, more characters is always good to know of what we can plan for. But with this knowledge always comes the fact that companies like to change things up to keep you on your toes on the units coming up, as well, because they always have to find ways to incentivize you to want to spend to a certain extent. So the one thing right now is, if they don't put Klukai out sooner rather than later, you have the problem of people that are saving up lots and lots of pulls to pull over her, so that can hurt them. So it makes sense they would bring her up. But then that also brings out the other thought process I have beyond it, which could be a good thing depending on how you want to view it, which is if they want to do catch us up to CN and to a certain extent, giving out a free limited unit. And one ways we've seen this with other games like sort of Convallaria is they're giving out the units for free that were basically super easy skips. Everybody was going to skip them, at least a majority of them, because of the high priority of units coming out after them. And so with that, I think they may give out the unit Jianzhu for free. This is just me guessing. This is not affirmed or anything. But they could give a unit like her out for free. And one of the big reasons is she's not very good unless you get her third dupe. And by giving her out for free, they may incentivize people to want to spend to get her dupes, because they have that, oh, I got her, I might as well, I need to go over her V3 now since they gave it to me for free. So that could be something we could see happening if they wanted to catch us up to CN quicker, is giving out all the units that everybody's saying are super easy skips because they suck unless you get multiple dupes, which they don't. I mean, they're not as good as everyone else. I think every unit is pretty decent. Jianzhu is probably the worst of the bunch, just because she really doesn't ramp up until V3. So that is just something I think they could potentially do in the future, which to me would be nice. I would like to get a free unit, because I plan to pull every unit regardless of what they are on the meta. But we'll go ahead and see how that works out. But that's just some of my thoughts on that, and that's just me completely guessing. There is no information in anything stating there's going to be a free unit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this. I will be streaming later tonight, but if you liked my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, thanks for watching.